joining me tonight. I get involved in a book. I guess I stay involved. Um, Tonight, let's talk about some of the news I picked up today. Not as much as I would like, but we can fill it in with a little bit of my opinion. That you probably want to chisel on concrete and maybe run and grab a pencil and paper. Uh, let's see what we got here. Ukraine has actually invaded a portion of Russia. Not a large contingency, 1,000 Ukrainian troops, tanks, armored vehicle breached the Russian border in KURSK region. And this is not of great military significance, but in my judgment, but it's going to rattle the Kremlin. It's an embarrassment to Putin, and it certainly puts a little more pressure on him to settle this 2.5-year-old war. I think it could be, this is my opinion now, the way I see it, I think the war could be finished up very quickly if we would give the Ukrainians the material, the weapons, the munitions that they need to just finish it up. Putin has his nose bloodied, his discontent. And don't forget, the Russian people know when their sons go and don't come back. You can't hide that. I think one of the problems with the administration is that people that advise the administration want to make it a 10-year war. And, they can, they tell us a measured response. A measured response is a recipe for a never-ending war that makes a lot of arms dealers quite rich. So I wish they would get involved with this thing and get it over with. There's no sense carrying this out like this. Excuse me very much. This mug I'm not part of the company. It was given to me by a dear friend. Now, Nikki Haley, this came from the Huffington Post, so it's going to be a liberal spin on this, so it's written an exasperated Nikki Haley urges former President Donald Trump and fellow Republicans to abandon their attacks against Kamala Harris. Instead, focus on a policy positioning. Say Americans are too smart to buy into these things that don't matter. Well, that's true, but she wasn't exasperated. She was giving constructive criticism. And I'm also like that. I don't really want to. I already know that the Biden and Harris administration, or the Harris-Biden administration, are a bunch of idiots. They don't know what they're doing. And I don't need no more funny names on them. I think Donald Trump will be better off keep driving home what he's going to do, get the border closed, get a handle on inflation. Everybody in America is suffering from his high prices. There's no getting around it. And I think he will do that, but I don't think we're going to see him show his hand until after the Democratic convention next week. And why should he? Because whatever he does, they're going to steal from him. Trump don't want people to know what his plans are. In his book, The Art of the Deal, he says sometimes it's good for people to think you're crazy. Maybe President Biden read that book. But after the election, then it'll be damn the torpedoes full speed ahead. Don't fire until you see the whites of their eye, and he will go to town. And then we got also the debate coming up. If she shows up, I doubt very much if she's going to show up. Here's something. One of the squad members, Omar, was reelected in the primary. We can still get rid of her in the general election. And I don't know what the people see in her. Maybe they like a congressman that marries her brother. Maybe that's part of their tradition or something. But she definitely does not have the best interests of the American citizens uh, involved in her plans. Now it looks like Governor Walsh is turning up more bad news. He praised one of the clerics, Muslim clerics, for being a fine person. And this cleric actually kind of praised the terrorists, what they did to Israel on October the 5th. There's no room for praise here. They simply murdered a bunch of women and children and men, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Walsh, I'm not really sure if he's going to make it through the Democratic convention. I'm sure we're going to have some lawsuits coming up. And remember, the Democrats, they can't protect the liberal Democrats, the Biden administration, can't help us. And get right down to it, they can't help themselves. They tend to come to work unprepared, not knowing anything about anything. Now, Ford Mazda issues a do not drive advisory for almost 500,000 vehicles. I'll repeat because we should pay attention to that. Ford Mazda issues a do not drive. It's airbag problems, and that can be very serious. An airbag, I didn't realize that, can actually break your neck, cause a lot of damage, or cause you to have a wreck. Now here's almost 2,500 jobs cut, likely truck plant outside of Detroit. These are the people that make the older Dodge Ram vans and things. And I hate to see 2,500 people lose their jobs now. Won't be, Christmas is just around the corner. But part of the thing is with these car companies, they're trying to sell people cars that they don't want. Here's something really good. Bloomberg donated $600 million to four black medical schools. And that's really good of the man. I hope these schools, that they have a liberal persuasion, are reminded this is hard-earned money from an American capitalist. That's right. Well, the DNC Chicago convention will be next week. What's know about the convention? Well, a Secret Service was on television today explaining they had everything in hand. They were lockstep with their partners, Chicago police and other partners. Chicago has had many conventions and many demonstrations. Of course, when the Biden administration gets involved, things go amok. Okay, I think this is everything I wanted to talk about tonight. I appreciate you tuning in.